So, what is lucid dreaming? For those of you who don't know, and I bet that most of you here know what a lucid dream is, lucid dreaming is the ability to become fully conscious while you are in a dream, making the dream experience rich, detailed, and extremely vivid. A true lucid dream can actually feel as real as waking life, but with a very marked difference. Many of the laws or rules of this world are non-existent or can be greatly manipulated just with the power of your intent. And just to make this very clear, anyone can experience lucid dreaming. Some people have a greater ability to make it natural and experience their first lucid dream. So let me ask all of you a question. Have you ever had a lucid dream? And you're supposed to see this question on your sidebar, and please answer yes or no. And we'll see how many of you, what percentage has ever had a lucid dream. So I'm just going to give you 1 or 2 minutes for this. A lot of people will have lucid dreams spontaneously. All of a sudden they're dreaming, they notice something very bizarre, odd, and boom, instantly they realize they're dreaming. Usually when you don't have a prior intent, then the lucid dream tends to be very short-lived. But sometimes they can last for minutes or even an hour or more. So let's see. So 83% of you say, yes, I've had a lucid dream, and 17% says no. All right. So for those of you who've never had a lucid dream, this webinar is going to be amazing for you. And for those of you who've had lucid dreams, but you desire to have more consistent lucid dreaming experiences, then this is going to be great for you as well. Now, what you will learn in this webinar. You will learn how to have lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences in less than 2 weeks. You will learn the old-school method of inducing lucid dreams and the lucid dream hack, which is a term I called for expediting your lucid dream experience, because a lot of people can often spend weeks, months, or even years of trying and attempts before they have their first lucid dream, and that can be very frustrating. So I want you to experience a lucid dream as soon as possible. So you will learn how to remember your dreams, what are the peak dream hours. If you notice, when you sleep, you're not dreaming through the entire night. There are specific times during the night where your REM cycle, or the rapid eye movement cycle, spikes and you have more dreams. You can have dreams in deep sleep, but they're not as vivid or long as REM dreams. How to stabilize your dreams and make them more vivid. How to control your dreams. And we'll talk about why I say, control. Because there's a certain degree that you can control. How to directly communicate with your subconscious mind and your higher self. And you will also learn a bit about DNA activation and how this is related to lucid dreaming. So let's go and talk about interesting facts about lucid dreaming. Not only do you dream every night, you spend on average 2 hours in REM dreaming sleep. So you probably heard some people say, "Oh, I've never dreamed." Well, that's not true. Everyone dreams. The only difference is that some people remember their dreams and others don't. So that means that in a year, you can spend an entire month dreaming. Not sleeping, just dreaming. And by the age of 36, humans will have spent an entire year of their lives dreaming. Isn't that amazing? That every year you spend an entire month dreaming. Now let me ask you, would you prefer to be conscious of that time? Not the entire month, because if you can be lucid every time you dream, then you're going to be a superstar. But a big chunk of that month. Wouldn't you like to be conscious, to remember your dreams, to manipulate your dreams, to manifest your desires and just explore that realm? And although in the Western world, lucid dreaming has gained popularity over the last few decades, lucid dreaming has long been acknowledged for thousands of years in the East by Buddhists and other mystics as an important milestone on the route of enlightenment and the discovery of the ultimate nature of the self. So they are people who practice their entire lives how to become masters at lucid dreaming, because this is such an important step in self-realization and enlightenment. So before we begin, make sure you're free from distractions. Turn off Skype, Facebook, Twitter, cell phone, and this webinar is going to last about an hour and a half, the longest 2 hours, because you really want to be present and have your entire focus on this webinar, because this information can literally transform your life, and I don't mean that lightly. Lucid dreams can have a profound effect on your consciousness, on your state, and on how do you feel about existence. So now the big question, what can you do with lucid dreams? You can experience your higher self as yourself as the higher self. You can integrate your shadow self, that part of you that is always causing drama, chaos, arguments, or sabotage. You can access your subconscious and superconscious mind. You can solve problems. You can transcend unconscious patterns and blind spots. You can get out of karmic loops where things keep happening over and over again in your life, your relationships, your business. You can develop your higher senses, developing more of your third eye, activating the third eye, clairvoyance, telepathy. You can remote view, that is, you can access visual information about the distant future, the past, or even remote view someone in this realm, the 3D, in any part of the world. And don't take my word for this. There are many books on lucid dreams with testimonials, research, and experiences um, telling exactly what I'm mentioning here. You can experience this state of enlightenment and merging with your higher self, or the one. And you can experience unconditional love. Obviously, you can do many more things, but these are just a few things you can do. Very exciting things. So now here you have a graphic of your multidimensional anatomy. As most of you here present in this webinar are aware, we are more than a physical, emotional, and mental body. We have a spirit. So you here in dimensions 1, 2, and 3, your physical, emotional, and mental body, is what is known as the incarnate self. The part of you that is stationed in the first 3 dimensions, and the part of you that is listening to this webinar. But as you go up the multidimensional scale and you get to the dimension 4 all the way to 15, then that is known as your higher self. So what does this have to do with lucid dream? Well, when you lucid dream, or when you dream, even if you dream unconsciously, you're going to the astral realm. You're going to the 4th dimension. You can even go higher, but usually dreams tend to occur in the 4th dimension. And there's a great book written by Robert Monroe, Far Journeys, where he talks about out-of-body experiences, and he has this experience while he's out of the body of seeing this realm where a lot of people that do not have a body are in, spirits. And he says that he encountered human beings there who were dreaming, and some of them were just oblivious to his presence. They were in their own world projecting their own movie, while a very few humans would be conscious and would become aware of his presence. And this is what you can do in lucid dream. You can become conscious in another dimension of your existence, the 4th dimension. So the first step, if you want to become lucid, then you surely want to remember your dreams, because imagine if you had a lucid dream and you wake up and you don't remember the dream, then you're going to miss half the fun. Obviously, it's going to be a great experience. It's going to change your state, because let me tell you, when you have a lucid dream, you will feel so amazing when you wake up. It's like you conquered, you achieved something so great, so magnificent, that you're going to feel like you've conquered the world, because you literally have broken a wall in your consciousness. So for those of you who are asking me to write this down, there's going to be a replay, and you're going to be able to watch this replay, and you can take notes. So everyone dreams, but few people can remember their dreams. So the simple solution is journal your dreams. Every morning upon awakening, before even moving a single muscle, ask yourself, what was I dreaming? And I want to emphasize before moving a single muscle, because when you wake up, as soon as you start moving your body, then your awareness goes into the body. And lucid dreaming can be stored in your short-term memory. So you want to just stay in bed, ask yourself, well, what was I dreaming? Usually you'll find that in the morning, you'll wake up from dreams. And as soon as you start remembering that dream, go back and remember as many details of that dream as you can. Revisit the story. Who was there? What was happening? And once you revisited your dream and you can make notes in your mind about what happened, where were you, etc., then you will have a journal next to your bed and you will write down the dream. Another option is to have a recorder. So if you have an iPhone, the iPhone has an app that you can use to record messages, voice messages. So some people find that easier. You just press record and you narrate your dream. But still, once you record the dream, you later want to write it down because of this next step. So the second step is recognizing your dream signs. Odd, weird, or bizarre events, states, or circumstances that let you know you are in a dream. So let me ask you, how many of you have been in a dream and you were flying, or you saw a mystical creature, or you were in the other side of the world, maybe in China or Japan, and you've never been there? This is very common. During dreams, we see things or experience things that in waking life are impossible or nearly impossible. And there are certain circumstances or events like being chased, drowning, running super slow. Has anyone here had the experience of feeling like you're being chased in a dream and you want to run, but all of a sudden you are in super slow motion? And it's very frustrating. But this happens to a lot of people. So Anna says all the time. Right. Other people, you can fly. You can meet a loved one who passed away. You can see a dragon. Or you can look at yourself in the mirror, and when you do that in dreams, you look very different. And I'm going to share a lucid dream of mine where I was perplexed and in awe of what I saw as my reflection in the dream. You can look at your hands and see that you have, instead of 5 fingers in each hand, you can have 12 fingers. And electronic devices in dreams don't seem to work as they do here. So maybe you want to turn the light on and it doesn't turn on. So all these and many more are dream signs, are occurrences, events that let you know that you're dreaming. So as you journal your dreams, you will notice a pattern. You will notice that dream signs tend to occur frequently in your dreams. So you want to highlight those. So let's say, for example, in 1 week, you had the dream of being chased or running super slow or flying, and you had this dream, let's say, out of the week you had it 4 times. Then what you can do is tell yourself the next time I'm flying, I will know that I am in a dream. This is a dream sign. So write them down as you journal your dreams and you notice dream signs. You want to highlight at least 12 of them. And then as they keep happening, you want to select the 3 or 4 most common dream signs. And then you put a very strong intent that the next time you find yourself, having the fear of a tsunami or being chased or seeing a relative who passed away 5 years ago. The next time you experience that, this will be a reminder that you're dreaming. Now, the third step, a reality check. Let me ask you something. When you were in a dream and you saw this mystical creature, or you were flying in outer space, or something out of this world happened, did you believe it? Did your dreaming mind come up with a rational explanation? Oh yes, sure, I'm seeing a dragon because I am in, Dragonland. Or sure, I'm flying because I can. If you notice in dreams, your rational mind will basically be shut down and you will have this magical thinking where everything is possible and you will believe everything. So you really have to make an effort to start turning on that rational mind that says, oh my God, no, 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 I'm flying. This must be a dream. So how will you know if you're dreaming? So even though you might be flying, fighting a shark, or talking to Buddha, you will still believe it is really happening. Otherwise, you would become lucid within the dream. So the trick is to, throughout your day, ask yourself constantly, at least 10 times, am I dreaming? So let's say you wake up. Instantly, you're brushing your teeth, and you ask yourself, am I dreaming? You're having lunch, you ask yourself, am I dreaming? You're going to work, you ask yourself, am I dreaming? You're walking down the street, you ask yourself, am I dreaming? You see your best friend, you ask yourself, am I dreaming? Because maybe your best friend is always in your dreams. So if you put the intent that the next time you see your friend, you're going to ask yourself, if you're dreaming, then if you're dreaming and you see your friend and you ask yourself, am I dreaming? Then you have a very high chance of becoming lucid. So you need to prove yourself that you're not dreaming, because even though you're in waking life and you ask yourself, am I dreaming, right? And you say, of course, I'm not dreaming, I'm here, I'm listening to this webinar. But that doesn't really prove that you're not in a dream. Think about it. Because the last time you were dreaming and you were flying, you thought that was real. It was reality. You were awake. So you really have to make a conscious effort to question your consciousness, to question your state of reality. And once you make it a habit of asking yourself, am I dreaming? Then this will filter into your dreams, and you will find yourself in the dream asking yourself, am I dreaming? So a reality check is a way that you can prove that you are dreaming or not. So for example, do the following. Ask yourself right now, am I dreaming? And now pinch your nose and try to breathe. So pinch your nose and try to take an inhale through the nose with your mouth closed. Can you breathe? No, right? You can't. But if you were in a dream and you were to pinch your nose and try to inhale through the nose, guess what? You could do that. And it feels very, very weird. But that's something that lets you know that you're dreaming. Because sometimes you will ask yourself, am I dreaming? And you will be in the dream, and your magical mind will say, of course you're not. You're not dreaming. This is real. But if you perform a reality check, like pinching your nose and trying to breathe, then you will increase your odds of becoming aware if this is a dream or not. Another thing I like to do is look at my hands. So for example, let's say that I'm seeing this beautiful sunset with a super brilliant rainbow, and I ask myself, am I dreaming? Because it's such a sublime experience. And I look at my hands. If I am here in the 3D, then I'm going to see my hands with 5 fingers. They're going to look completely normal. But let's say that in a dream, I start to become aware that I am dreaming. So I ask myself, am I dreaming? And I look at my hands, and usually I will have like 7, 8, 9 fingers. And they will look extremely odd, very bizarre. That tells me that's a dream sign that tells me I am dreaming. And in that moment, boom, I'm on. Another thing is see if you can fly. So constantly ask yourself throughout the day, am I dreaming? Yes? No? Well, let me perform a reality check. Let me try if I can fly. And really put the intent to fly. If you're here in the 3D, unless you've mastered teleportation and have the proper DNA activation, you won't be able to fly. So you'll know that you're not dreaming. But if you're in a dream, you will be able to fly. So constantly ask yourself throughout the day, am I dreaming? And then perform a reality check. My favorite one and the most effective one is pinching your nose. Very easy to do. You can do it anywhere. And when you do it in the dream, it will work all the time. Now, becoming lucid. Now, you are remembering your dreams. You know the dream signs. You're performing reality checks. The next step is to become lucid. There are many ways to induce lucid dreams, but there is one common denominator for all techniques, and that is intent. You must have a clear, precise, and powerful intent, not only to lucid dream, but what will you do once you become lucid? So at the beginning, just have the intent to become lucid. That's going to be very powerful. And do whatever you like. You know, the first time, don't choose a very big or important or life-changing intent. Just have the intent to become lucid, because that by itself will be a major achievement. So before going to sleep, you want to repeat this intent many times. And you want to visualize yourself in a dream, recognizing the dream sun, performing a reality check, becoming lucid, and then naming your intent. So every night before you go to sleep, repeat your intent to become lucid. Then imagine that you're in a dream, you recognize the dream sign, you perform a reality check, and you become lucid. If you do that consistently, day after day, night after night, you will become lucid. That's it. Now, this is one of the old school techniques. It takes a lot of time, effort, but let me tell you, many of you will even have a lucid dream tonight, because we're talking about this and you're putting a lot of your emotional, mental energy into this. So this webinar alone can trigger a lucid dream for you tonight. So if you wake up from a dream, remember the details from the dream. So let's say that you go to sleep and you had a dream. You were not lucid, but you wake up, let's say it's 4 a.m. and you had a dream. And you're there on your bed. And what you can do is go back to the dream, remember the dream, and then replay the dream as if you were to become lucid. So it's like going back to the dream, noticing a dream sign, performing a reality check, and becoming lucid. If you do this, and you go back to sleep while doing this, chances are that you will go back into a dream, sometimes the very same dream, and you will become lucid. Okay, so now you're lucid. Now what? What do you do? Well, the first thing you want to do is stabilize your dream. And a great thing you can do is give commands. When you are dreaming, when you're lucid, the simple act of giving a command will change the dream scenery, yourself, and anything. You're really powerful. So you can say, clarity now, and you can shout it. And the dream will become more clear. You can say, increasing my vividness, my dream vividness, or my dream vision 10 times fold now. You can say, grounding myself. Because like this picture here, many of you will probably remember that your dreams tend to look a bit hazy. Like there's a fog, you can't see clear. Well, you have to develop your dream vision. And this all has to do with your third eye. The more clear your third eye is, the better your vision. But even despite having an open and activated third eye, when you get to a dream, often at the beginning, your dream vision is not fully on. It's not activated. It's not clear. So it takes a while for everything to come into perspective. But you can expedite that process by giving commands. And you can also touch your dream body. That's very grounding. So you're in a dream and you're lucid. You can touch your body, or you can simply rub your hands. Rubbing your hands has an amazing effect. It will instantly ground yourself and make the dream more vivid. Then you want to name your intent. Maybe your intent was to experience unconditional self-love. Or your intent was to integrate your shadow self. Then you want to name that intent to the dream. And also you want to look at your environment. Where are you? Who is there? The more you notice what's going on around you, the more you will be grounded in the dream and you will stay focused. Now, common mistakes. Getting too excited. And this is one mistake that it will be inevitable for you in your first couple of lucid dreams. It's just an exhilarating experience that you will say, oh my God, I'm lucid dreaming. And you will become so excited that you will wake up. And it can be a bit frustrating, but don't worry. Even if that lucid dream lasted 10 seconds, it's a major achievement. Be proud of yourself, and you'll have many other opportunities. Another common mistake is forgetting your intent. So that is why it's really important to cultivate your memory skills in the dream time and when you're waking up and remembering dreams. Another common mistake for rookies is that immediately they want to go flying. They forget about their intent and they just want to go flying. But here's the thing. that sometimes the scenery you're in and the people who are there often will contain relevant information related to your intent. So it is wise to, once you are lucid, look at your surroundings, look who's there, and ask questions. What does this mean? And your subconscious and superconscious mind will tell you the answer. Another common mistake is not performing reality checks. So you're in the dream, you notice something really odd. You know, maybe you are in a skyscraper and the building is falling down, and all of a sudden you realize this must be a dream. And you ask yourself, am I dreaming? But you don't perform a reality check. Well, most of the times, if you don't perform a reality check, your magical mind will take over and you will say, oh yeah, sure, I'm dreaming. I'm about to hit the ground. Okay, so it's very important. Perform reality checks in waking life, and the more you perform them in waking life, soon enough they will filter through to your dreams, into your dreams. Okay? Now, another mistake is that a dream character tells you you're not dreaming, and you believe him or her. And this is a very peculiar event that happens in lucid dreams. Some characters will tell you, no, you're not dreaming. Come on, this is real. And you will be like, oh, yeah, that's true. This is not a dream. So you have to be very cautious and conscious. If you perform a reality check, then no one will convince you that you're not dreaming. And then I will talk about the big problem when it comes to lucid dream. So let's talk a bit more about dream characters. And this is one of the most fascinating aspects of lucid dreams. Because are they real? What is real? Or are you dreaming them? Well, you'll be surprised that when you're lucid dream, some people report that they tell dream characters, oh, you're a creation of my mind. I'm dreaming you. Well, the character will get annoyed, and sometimes they will get angry and say, what do you mean? I'm real. Well, some of these dream characters will surprise you by having very unique opinions and ideas that are very different from your own. You can have incredible conversations with dream characters, and some will insist that they are real. But here's the thing. If you think about reality as this waking life reality as everything, then they're not real. But if you take into account your multidimensional anatomy, your astral body, then they will be real. Some of them, not all of them. It depends on your level of consciousness. Other characters seem to lack personality. You ask them questions and they don't respond, or maybe they have this monotonous automatic response that doesn't make any sense. What you can do is give a command, all thought forms disappear now, and something amazing will happen. All your thought forms that are being projected will disappear, and true entities will pop up, will stay there. So you can meet maybe an ascended master, and you can be with an ascended master, and there are other people there trying to distract you, and you can say, all thought forms disappear now. And all of a sudden, the entire crowd disappears, and you are by yourself with an ascended master, because he's a real entity. So dream characters, play with them, ask them questions, because sometimes, like I said, you will become lucid. You want to pay attention to the scenery, where you are, and who are you with. And sometimes you will ask them, who do you represent, or what message do you have for me? What is, what is your meaning? And the dream character will tell you, I represent your repressed emotions. Oh, I represent your abandoned child. And that way, you can interact with them, and by doing that and bringing that into awareness, you will be doing very powerful healing work on the mental, emotional, and spiritual levels, and even on the physical level. Because all dimensions are connected. There is even research, scientific research, that shows that whatever you are doing in your dreams, and even in lucid dreams, creates neural net connections in your brain. So let's say, for example, you like to play golf. And so you become lucid and you say, I want to perfect my swing. And in the dream, you're having classes with Tiger Woods, because you can do that. You can say, I want to be mentored by Tiger Woods. And soon enough, Tiger Woods is there giving you a private one-on-one golfing lesson. And you're practicing your swing, and you say, I want to perform the most effortless, perfect swing I've ever done in my life. And you start doing that swing. Well, even though you're dreaming, here in waking life, your brain is going to be creating new neural net connections in your brain. And if you know about neuroscience, you know that when you create neural net connections in your brain, that is how you master skills. Everything you do has a web connection in your brain of circuits. And the more neural net connections you have, the more you will master that skill. So there are many reports of people practicing music, art, sports, solving problems in dreams, and when they wake up, they can perform that easily. So let's say you have the fear of talking to a large audience. You usually become very nervous. Then you can have a lucid dream and say, I want to let go of my fear of talking to large audiences, and I want to practice giving the most fluent, harmonious, confident speech I've ever given in my life, or presentation, or webinar, or seminar. And you see yourself in the dream doing it, and soon enough, that will transfer into your waking life. There are even reports of people learning pieces like music symphonies that they've never heard or played before in the dream, and playing it in the dream, and then waking up and remembering the entire symphony and playing it like they've been playing it for years. Now, let's talk about going beyond the dream. Once you have experimented with the dream scenery and dream characters, you can interact directly with your subconscious and superconscious mind. So at the beginning, many people, rookies, tend to focus on satisfying their earthly desires, flying or fulfilling sexual fantasies, or manipulating the dream scenery. And if you want to do that, go ahead. It's very fun. If it's something that you can do. You can meet people, you can fly to outer space, you can go to the other side of the world, you can imagine yourself being an avatar, whatever. The possibilities are endless. But if you really want to progress spiritually, emotionally, mentally, then you can interact directly with the dream. And what do I mean by this? Think about it. Do you control everything in the dream? What creates the dream? Is someone dreaming you? Think about the last time you had a dream. Did you decide that, oh, I'm going to dream this, and I'm going to be here, and all these people are going to be here? No. And some might say that your subconscious mind creates all of that. But the weird thing is that the universal mind, God, the one source, is dreaming all of us. We are all individuations of this one energy. You can call it God, you can call it Source. And Source wanted to experience itself in all possibilities. That includes being separate, which of course is an illusion. So you are really an individuation of God. And when you're dreaming, God, and even right now, Source is projecting all of this. But you're a co-creator because you have that likeness that you can create. But in the dream, if you talk directly to that universal mind, to the dream mind, you'll be surprised of what you can do. So for example, you can ask, I desire to, you can say, dream, I want to integrate my shadow self. And instantly the dream will transform to the perfect scenario for you to do this. You can say, dream, I want to merge with my higher self. And the dream will project that to you. So ask questions, talk to characters, and give commands to the universal mind. I desire to enhance my higher senses. It is commanded that I merge with the One. And also questions are very powerful. Let's say that you want to manifest more financial abundance. You've been struggling financially, or you want to double your income, then you can ask yourself, while in the dream, you can ask the dream mind, how can I manifest even more financial abundance than that which I am doing right now? And the dream will project the answer to you. It could be through a dream character. It could be through a picture or a movie. It could be an instant thought that you have, and all of a sudden, boom, you have the idea. Or maybe you're seeing your project, the business, the way to do it. Instead of wandering throughout the dream looking for how to manifest more financial abundance, you can ask, you can give a command, and then you wait. So up until now, we have talked about the old school method of lucid dream. Now let's talk about advanced lucid dream and how you can have lucid dreams in less than 2 weeks. So there are certain natural supplements that you can take that will increase your odds of becoming lucid 10, 20, 100 times fold. From my own personal experience, when I became aware of lucid dream, I tried the old school methods, naming my intent, visualizing, writing my dreams, and trying to become lucid every night? Well, I had success, but it was sort of limited. The lucid dreams wouldn't last long. I would become lucid maybe once a week, once a month, and I wanted to really take control. So galantamine is a supplement that they extract this compound, this chemical compound from a flower. And this supplement has a profound effect on lucid dreams, causing you to have extremely vivid and long dreams. And galantamine can be used as a lucid dream trigger. The other supplement that you need is choline, which is noticeably increases the odds of becoming lucid and can intensify the transitioning process from what is normally experienced with galantamine alone. And we're going to talk more about transitions. Like galantamine, choline's effect on lucid dream is more vividness and longer duration. So these supplements not only increase vividness and the duration of the dream, but also your memory of the dream. So here's what you do. You go to bed around 10:30 at night, and then you sleep for 5 hours. So if you go to bed at 10:30, and you will wake up at 3:30 a.m. in the morning. So obviously you will have to set up an alarm for this. So you wake up, you get out of bed, and you don't want to do any sort of intense activity like going up or down stairs or walking a long distance. You maybe want to go to your bathroom or your kitchen where you will have a glass of water with your supplements. And you will take 8 milligrams of galantamine and 500 milligrams of choline. Galantamine can be found online. Amazon sells it and other websites. Choline, you can find it pretty much everywhere. And galantamine, one bottle can last you a year. So you can pay $40 for a bottle of galantamine, and you can use it to lucid dream for a year if you're lucid dreaming once a week. So you wake up at 3:30 in the morning, you take your glass of water, you drink the glass of water with your supplements, then you go back to bed and you name your intent at least 3 times. Today I want to become lucid, and I am going to do this when I become lucid. Whatever it is, I want to integrate my shadow self. I want to see a past life. I want to see a future life. Or I want to know if this decision is in line with my higher self. Whatever intent you have. And then you don't want to go back to sleep immediately. What you want to do is meditate for 20 to 30 minutes. So you can repeat a mantra, you can focus on your breathing, whatever type of meditation that allows you to be relaxed and stay in that sort of deep state where you're not asleep, but you're not fully awake. And after about 20 to 30 minutes, you're going to practice something that is called seed visualization. So how many of you think that you have a hard time visualizing? So type your answer on the text chat. You know, someone tells you visualize this, imagine this, and you think, oh, I can't see that. I can't do that. Okay? So some of you are reporting that you do have a challenge visualizing. Well, seed visualization is one of the easiest visualizations because all you do is plant an image in your mind. So, for example, you imagine a tree and you let it go. You don't try to visualize it in great detail. You just visualize it, see in your mind's eye, and let it go. And then you plant another image. Let's say a sun, or a bike, or the ocean, or a dolphin, or your dog, whatever. And you keep planting images in your mind and let them go. And this is very similar to what is called as hypnagogic imagery. Think about this. Have you ever been lying on your bed and all of a sudden you wake up, but you feel that you were not really sleeping, but you were not fully awake? And in that state, you were seeing very random and bizarre images. How many of you have had this experience? Everyone does. So this is what is called hypnagogic imagery. And this happens to you every time you fall asleep. So once again, you go to bed at 10:30. You wake up at 3:30 a.m. You go to the kitchen or the bathroom. You have a glass of water with you. You take the supplements. You go back to bed. You name your intent at least 3 times. You meditate for 20 to 30 minutes. And you start doing the seed visualization. And what will happen is that galantamine and choline take about 40 minutes to take effect. And once they start to kick in, if you're in the state of limbo between waking and dreaming consciousness, you will start to experience a transition from waking life to the dream world. And these transitions will feel like very strong vibrations. Sometimes you will feel like you're exiting your body. And sometimes you will feel like you're just traveling at supersonic speeds. It feels amazing. So sometimes when I take the supplements and I'm meditating and I'm waiting for the transition, I will start feeling very strong vibrations. What I do is I remain calm and I wait for the dream to come to me. And what usually happens is that the dream scenery will manifest in front of me and I will like just launch into the dream. And what is amazing is that this technique allows you to go directly into the dream from the beginning of the dream. With the old school method, you have to wait for a dream sign or something to trigger lucidity. But with this technique, you can go straight into the dream. Now, what's the big problem? Well, what I've noticed is working with my students, with clients of mine, is that people have too many energetic blockages, like auric attachments, karmic imprints, soul fragments, or shadow self personas. Things that they haven't resolved, that they haven't transcended. And these energetic blockages interfere with your dreams. They can prevent you from becoming lucid and force you to do additional work. Because if you're trying to merge with the One, or to meet your higher self or an ascended master, but you have a strong auric attachment, then that energy blockage can manifest in your dream as a nightmare or a very stressful situation, and you have to deal with that instead of really focusing on your intent. So the more you are clear, the better, the quicker you will be able to lucid dream. So for example, for many people it takes years to get into deeper states of consciousness because they have to constantly become lucid and integrate their shadow self. And once they are stable enough and they have progressed enough, then they can focus on their things they really want to do. But if you work on yourself energetically, then you can expedite this process. Another problem is blockages in your fourth and your sixth strand of DNA. The fourth strand of DNA corresponds to your astral body, your heart chakra. If you have blockages in your heart chakra, your astral level, then you won't be able to experience lucidity as you would if you had a fully fourth strand of DNA activated and your astral body was functioning properly. The sixth strand corresponds to your third eye. So if you have blockages in your third eye chakra and your sixth strand of DNA, then you won't be able to have that clear third eye vision. And even as in waking life, when your third eye is open and activated, you can see things that a lot of people don't see, like auras or different colors or different frequencies, vibrations that are not evident to the naked eye. The same happens with lucid dreams. The more your third eye is open, activated, the more you can see. So like I said, if you're clear from auric attachments, karmic imprints, and you activate your DNA, your odds of becoming lucid increase tremendously. So what I want to do in this webinar is offer you a DNA activation. First, we're going to clear blockages in your DNA, and then we're going to activate the fourth strand of DNA so that this can help you gain lucidity with greater ease and more clarity. So before we do the DNA activation, go ahead and drink some water. Take a sip of water. And get as relaxed as possible. Notice your body. Notice your breathing. And take a deep inhale in through your nose. Hold it. And then exhale. Exhale all tension from your body, all thoughts from the past, the future. And begin to place a very strong intent to connect to your higher self. And then focus on the center of this code that you're seeing on your screen. And with your intent, imagine the code going into your third eye. And this is called optical pineal induction. So what we're using is a sacred geometry code that has been created and encrypted with the frequencies to transmute DNA blockages. And now imagine this code on top of all your chakras. So right now I'm connecting to my higher self and the higher self of everyone in this webinar. And even if you're seeing this webinar as a recording, in the realm of quantum possibilities, our higher selves are not bound by time nor space. So you can receive the energetic transmission as if it was live. So just place the intent to connect to your higher self and surrender to your higher self. It is commanded in the name of divine love that the DNA ascension preparation, absolute blockage removal, command code of Ahu be used to activate for each person here their pineal gland, pituitary gland, hypothalamus, medulla oblongata, 15 chakras and DNA template, to their highest energetic holding potential and original divine function, clearing all DNA blockages, reverse fire letter sequences, and blockages in the DNA that prevent them from lucid dreaming in the best way possible for them and in line with our higher selves now. Ta Asia into the door. And just relax and notice how the code is interacting with your field. Depending on how sensible you are to subtle energies, you will begin to feel tingling sensations throughout your body. You can also feel like you're heating up, or even as energy fields or magnetic fields are being spun off your auric field. And for those of you who know how to connect to your higher self and read energy signatures, you can monitor the energy in your left hand. And now the energy is starting to go quantum. That means that the activation is now taking place at the highest levels of your awareness. So anytime we do a clearing with your higher self and using this technology of sacred geometry codes, we're working on all levels of your awareness, all the way back to source, to the void, so that whatever is being removed is cleared on all levels and it can't regenerate. So surrender to your higher self. Your higher self is doing all of this. You don't even need to see the image, the sacred geometry code. I am connected to your higher self and I am projecting the code into your third eye, to your chakras, your field, and your higher self is doing this with all of you. There's nothing you can do to make this not work, because your higher self knows that this is for your highest good. If it wasn't for your highest good, then your higher self would not allow this. All right. Now, let's proceed to work on the fourth strand of DNA, the DNA strand that corresponds to your astral body. So go ahead and once again, with your intent, inhale the code into your third eye and visualize the code going into your mind's eye. And then visualize the code going down to your heart chakra. And see the code merging with your heart chakra. It is commanded in the name of the above, by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers, that the DNA ascension preparation, stage 4, code of Ahu, be used to activate for each person here their pineal gland, pituitary gland, hypothalamus, medulla oblongata, their heart chakra, and DNA template to their highest energetic holding potential and original divine function for the embodiment of their higher self and the proper functioning of their astral body, activating the specific DNA codes for lucid dreaming now. Ta'Asian Tador. Just relax, breathe, breathe, and let the code and your higher self do the work. So go ahead and drink some water and imagine the violet flame infusing your water. And as you drink the water, imagine the violet flame in a liquid form going into your body. So how are you feeling now? How did you experience those two activations? So yeah, some of you will feel strong vibrations, strong tingling. Sometimes it can be very intense. Some of you are feeling sleepy. That's okay. That's the codes changing your brain waves. Felt something in my crown chakra? Yes. Brain is tingling. Yeah, often the crown chakra area, the head area, you'll feel like sort of if you had a crown or a ring bossing with energy. Well, the crown chakra is a chakra that allows life force current energies from source to come down into your body. Heat all over, especially around the arms and chest. Excellent. So, happy and softly tingling. Nice. Great, Julia. So for attending this webinar, I wanted to make a special offer. So like I mentioned before, the more energetic blockages you have in your auric field, your DNA, like auric attachments, karmic imprints, DNA blockages, blockages in the pineal gland, your third eye, your heart chakra, the more challenging it will be to master lucid dreaming. But if you were to become as clear as possible, removing auric attachments, clearing your shadow self, clearing DNA blockages, especially blockages in the heart chakra and your third eye, and then activating the DNA strands that correspond to your higher self, then you would progress tremendously in your lucid dreaming journey, because you will be able to access higher frequency information. And for example, if let's say you want to talk to an ascended master, then you need the frequency to be able to do that. Let's say you want to experience enlightenment within the dream, then you need the frequency to be able to hold that light, because a lot of people, when they want to experience enlightenment in a dream, it will be so intense that they will lose consciousness very rapidly. But the more light you can accrete into your body, which is regulated by your level of DNA activation, the longer you will be able to hold that experience. And I want to make sure that if you say, I want to experience enlightenment in the dream time, that doesn't mean that you're going to become enlightened here in the 3D. You still need to have to do work. But of course, you can become enlightened at any given moment, even right now, if you become fully present. But the more light you can accrete into your body, the more of your higher self you can embody, and the higher states of consciousness you can access. And obviously, when you're in the astral level, then that's just the beginning. If your Merkaba is spinning right and you have the proper DNA activation, you can go to even higher realms of your soul identity, your oversoul identity, even your Christus avatar identity, which is located in dimensions 10, 11, and 12. So more people are saying, I feel very spacey, very relaxed. I can feel a vortex above my head and forehead feels numb. Excellent. So if you want to take this opportunity and take advantage of this limited time offer, you will see on the text chat the offer, which includes a lifetime membership of auric clearings, karma removals, DNA activations, 9 sessions in total that you can do over and over again, so you can become as clear as possible, embody as much of your higher self as you can, and usually the normal price for this membership is $397, and in this webinar I'm offering this special offer of $297, so $100 less. So you're getting great value. So that's the offer. Now let's go to your questions. So please type on the text chat your questions. And I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna wait for everyone to type in their questions, and I'm gonna choose questions as I see them and answer them to the best of my abilities. So people are still commenting. Elaine says, my throat feels heavy too. It depends. Everyone has a different experience because, for example, for Alexandra, her heart feels really, really heavy. For Elaine, her throat. It depends where you have blockages. For example, the throat chakra is a very common chakra to have a lot of blockages when it comes to women, because women have been oppressed for thousands of years by male-dominated religions that projected beliefs into society that women are inferior, that they cannot speak, that they can't have their own opinion, education, etc. And most of us, when we grow up, we can't speak our truth. Well, we can, but sometimes we feel as children that we're not being listened to, that we were made wrong, and this can create blockages in the heart chakra. Okay, so John, what does lifetime membership means practically? Okay, that's your question. So what it means is that you're going to have access to this portal where you have auric clearings, karma removals, and DNA activations. And you have 2 sets of DNA activation, 12-strand DNA activations and golden DNA activations. So in each section you will have different recordings, video recordings, with the codes, with the commands, and with the entire protocol. And even you will have binaural beats that will help you to go into a deeper state of meditation. So you basically just press play, and it's like having a session with me, because everything is encoded in the recording. And you can do these sessions anytime, any place, anywhere, forever, as long as I'm alive and the website is running. The videos, the sessions are going to be there, and you don't have to pay for a monthly fee. You don't have to pay for upgrades. So you can clear your aura, you can clear karmic imprints, and activate your DNA week after week, month after month. Because what happens is that, you know, if you have a session with a practitioner, then you'll have that one session. But many of you know and are aware that DNA activation is not a one-time thing. That you can only accrete so much light in one session. Okay, so another question. What is included in this? Okay, Yeah, this is basically the same question, Ivan. Which sessions exactly? So you get auric clearings. You have like 3 different versions of auric clearings. You get karma removals. You get also 2 different versions, webinars and like 15 to 20-minute sessions with only the activations. You get the DNA activations. So you'll have about 4 different 12-strand DNA activations, one to remove DNA blockages, one to activate the first 3 strands of DNA, and then the following DNA activations to activate the higher strands of DNA that correspond to your higher self. In that section, you will also have the session to remove unnatural seals and imprints, which is a major session. Then finally, you will have the golden DNA activations, which is a series of 3 different golden DNA activations with 13 different codes. So it's 9 sessions in total. Okay, so Julia, which supplement is the best out of galantamine and choline? If you're going to go with one, go with galantamine. But choline is really essential. And to be honest, choline is the cheapest of both supplements. But if you're going to go with one, go with galantamine. And sometimes you can find galantamine with a bit of choline. So you want to, I'm going to type this on the text chat. You want to buy the book Advanced Lucid Dreaming. In that book, you will find the exact protocol, the supplements, and how to take them. For example, if you're taking galantamine and choline, you want to take these supplements at least once a week, and at the most with 4 days in between each attempt. You don't want to take the supplements every day because you will build up a tolerance. Although the supplements are natural, they're safe, you can build up a tolerance and then they won't become effective. So what I do is I use the supplements once a week, and then the rest of the week I place the intent to become lucid with the old school method of just naming the intent, visualizing, etc. Okay, so one time I woke up and while in bed I saw strange emanations coming from the picture of Saint Germain. Is that considered a lucid dream? That is actually considered hypnagogic images. Usually, a lot of people, when they're waking up, there's a state that is not the dream, but you're not fully awake, but it's a merging of both states. And so you're awake and you're seeing images, kind of like an hallucination, but they're very real. So in scientific terms, that is called hypnagogic imagery. What happens is that your third eye is open and you're seeing things. Okay, you're welcome, Tanya. So any other questions related to lucid dream, to the membership, to the inactivation, higher self, whatever you want to ask? Okay, can we ever be completely clear, or is it an ongoing process we go through and throughout our lifetimes? That's a great question. Well, it is an ongoing process, but the thing is that many people, because they have blockages to access their higher self, when they incarnate here on Earth, usually before you incarnate, you have a sole purpose, a mission. You have things you agreed to do, to accomplish, to resolve. But what happens is that a lot of people they forget because they cannot access their higher self. In ancient times, when you were growing up, by the age of 12, you would start accessing your soul identity. By the age of 22, you would have embodied your fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional self, your soul identity level. Now, that is not happening anymore because of distortions in the Earth's grids and DNA activation. So what ends up happening is that a lot of people keep repeating the same old karma because they forget that, for example, they incarnated and their family members were enemies from a past lifetime, and you incarnated once again with them to resolve that karma. But you don't remember that, and your shadow self is active, and you keep projecting the same karmic loop. Well, when you do an auric clearing, a karma removal, and DNA activations, it's like clearing the equivalent of thousands of lifetimes worth of baggage. So you can progress tremendously, and you won't have to incarnate once again, because I don't know about you, but I really want to ascend. I don't want to keep coming back. Like, I enjoy this reality. I love life on Earth, but I want to ascend. And I know a lot of you feel like that. Well, instead of taking you thousands of lifetimes, you can shorten that journey and even ascend in this lifetime. And once you get the work done that corresponds to the first three dimensions, then you can ascend, and then you can continue doing work, karmic work, and DNA activations in the upper realms. But as long as you have work to do here on Earth, you're most likely to incarnate. Okay, Rodney, do you have a website or email address? Yes, my website is ascendedrelationships.com. So let me write that here. Actually, I'm going to write it on the text chat. So that is my website. Any other questions? So Horacio is saying full force ascension. Me too. Yeah, that's what I want. Now, another question. Can you alter your waking life through a dream? Yes. Remember, dimensions are not separate. All dimensions are here. What determines what dimension you experience is your level of DNA activation and the rhythm, speed, and the vector of the particles that make your auric field and DNA. So for example, each dimension is a specific frequency band that is vibrating at a certain speed. If you were to change the particles that make up your auric field and the particle pulsation rhythm to 45 degrees vector and you would speed up the particles, you would access another dimension. So most people are in a frequency fence here in the 3D. But as you keep activating your DNA, your Merkaba starts spinning right, your chakras spin right, your DNA is able to hold more light, so you begin to access higher dimensions. Now, when it comes to dreaming, you're in the astral realm. So that is part of your multidimensional anatomy. If you, let's say for example, you want to heal some kind of disease, and you go and have a lucid dream and you say, I want to heal, I don't know, let's say that you have, just to give you an example, consistent or recurrent acid reflux, and you want to heal that. Then in the dream you heal that, you know, one way or another, then that intent, that energy is going to replicate itself through all dimensions. So that's one of the things that I teach in my advanced coaching is how to manifest from your higher self. Because when you're trying to manifest with your ego, it takes longer and it's slower and sometimes it's chaotic. But if you connect to your higher self and you manifest from your higher self, then the manifestation begins at the upper realms and then comes down, and you manifest whatever you want, but in line with your higher self. Okay. When I went to the link you provided, where to go for the special offer? The special offer should be as a pop-in. So you should be able to see something like this. I can't get on the screen, but we're somewhere near your chat. It says DNA activation special offer. It says one-time payment of $297 and add to cart. That will take you to PayPal. Once the order goes through, once I finish the webinar, I will see all the people who order the membership, and I will create a new password. Okay, if you go to the page for the special offer, go to the bottom of the page, and there's going to be a green button that it says Get Started Now. Go to that, press that button, and it will be $297. It seems like there was an error. It's supposed to be $297. If you're having any problems, then you can send me an email. To ascendedrelationships@gmail.com, and I will honor the offer. So once you click on the link, scroll down the page all the way down and click on the green button. All right, so any other questions before we complete for today? It could be about anything, your higher self, your Merkaba, DNA activation, relationships, lucid dreaming. All right. So thank you so much for attending the webinar, for giving me your time, your attention. It's been an honor to be at your service, and I look forward to connecting with you again through a session, through my Facebook fan page, an email, or one of our future webinars. Have a great day or good night, and I wish you have many, many lucid dreams in the weeks and months to come. Namaste.